Welcome to After the Final Pour, brought to you by the Malting Hour. I am one of your hosts, Tony Golick, joined always with
Brandon Winninger
and
Matthew Moldenhauer.
Matthew. You've been on one After the Final Pour, maybe? Or two?
I mean, we've kept drinking after most.
But we didn't record it, so it doesn't count.
At least one.
The one you've been on, you stopped talking because it was insane. It was after Krampus.
Right. That one happened.
That's so much chaos in one recording. The most chaos ever, to the point where it as much as we want this to be like you're hanging out with friends drinking, that literally turned into like
sitting in the middle of a bar.
Yeah.
Can we do, next time that we have Trevor and Tim, we can do like around the horn where you guys have a mute on the mic?
I mean, we can try it. I don't know. Hey,
and by mute, I mean duct tape over there.
Brandon and I are talking about the mixing board. We might be upgrading the studio just a little bit. Just a little bit. We'll see what's happening. But that's not why we're doing this. Matthew, what beer did you bring to share with us?
I brought some Dutch Bag. They're...
The fuck do you call Brandon?
I mean, I called him a pretty odd duck.
That was smooth. That was really smooth.
Just like the beer.
Okay.
So yeah, Dutch Bag Brew Company, Chicago brewery here. Got to know them. They were at the Firkin Fest that we did with them, and this is their Unfiltered Farmhouse Lager. My sales rep, Nate, loves a lot of their stuff that they're doing, so he's the reason why I wanted to pick this up and try some more of their stuff.
Hey, thanks, Nate.
Yeah. He also just got married, too, so...
I mean, we did drink that beer.
And had his spider bride.
Yeah, so good. I drank the can you gave me the next day, just so you know. I didn't wait. Didn't wait at all. But that, Brandon, what do you think about this beer so far?
I like it. It's...
Sorry, I didn't mean it looked like you were doing something.
No. So to preface why I hesitated for a second, I went to Dutch Bag's website, and I was kind of scrolling. I'm like, where are these dudes? And I saw the address, and I Googled the address real quick, and they took over the old location of Motor Road Brewing.
Oh, nice.
So they are on 2337 South Michigan Avenue. I don't know. I don't see anything on here about if they have a tap room. I feel like Motor Road did. I don't know if Dutch Bag does, though.
Maybe they're just working on distribution and making beer.
I think they do, because they're doing some cans, but
No.
that might be, some fake news.
Classic Matthew with his fake news.
That being said, it's different.
Yeah.
It's not... I don't know what I was expecting. And I'm getting, like, when I taste it, I'm getting, like, two different things at the same time. I'm getting, like, almost a bitterness, and then I'm getting a lagerness, like, at the same time. Like,
Lagerness.
like a both.
I like that.
I don't know, but it's on, like, both sides of my tongue. I'm feeling, like, bitter and then, like, clean.
Yeah.
Like, at the same time, I'm like, well, this is freaking weird, but it's enjoyable.
It's not like a hoppy lager as much as it is like a lager that has the bitterness of a nice pale ale.
Yes, but it also has kind of like that farmhouse saison,
There's like that
French nose to it that has like
I know that there's
little
like
grassy.
Yeah. There's like, and that's like in between of like the sweetness of a lager, and then there's that like grassiness, and then there's bitter. That's what I get as I'm drinking this beer.
Yeah, and I thought you were reading from the label here, because they say that it's equally inspired by hoppy farmhouse ales and old UK pubby bubbly lagers.
Which is something that you guys should do.
Literally, like, what I was getting. Like,
Exactly. And then they use 4 grains. So they use pilsner malt, rice, wheat, and oat for a little bit of a dry, lush body. And three different Michigan hop varietals.
Michigan hops.
Yeah.
It's
It's a
weed.
Norwegian yeast.
It's weed.
I'd like,
Clark's growing weed, so everybody else.
I wish
You might need to edit that.
I wish Dan was here, because I feel like this is a Dan beer. I feel like Dan would have a lot to say about this one. But Dan's not here. He's packing from Michigan. Go get some weed. This is different. It's different, and I like it. I don't know. I don't know. It's like a pub beer. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It is. And one of the things that I love and hate with like a farmhouse name.
Yeah.
Is there are some breweries that take it to heart and they're out in the middle of nowhere and they're using crazy yeast,
wild yeast.
and sometimes it's more evocative of what they're trying to get at in style. And here, to me, it is definitely this little bit of that, especially that yeast really shines through on that nose, but as you're just sipping on it, it turns much more into that pub drinking lager.
Yeah, it does. And while the bitterness is still a bit more than what I expect in a lager, it's not off-putting to where it's like, if you gave this to somebody who maybe wasn't a craft beer drinker, I don't think it'd be off-putting. You know what I mean? Like, there might be some little bit like, this is different. I don't know if I'd go to it, but like, maybe not for the average beer drinker. Bear. The Bears, am I talking about? The average duck drinker.
They might say it's a pretty duck.
And that is the episode. Brandon, how many ducks are you giving this? This is Duck, Duck, Goose. What are you giving it?
I'm going to go 3.75.
3.75 ducks. Matthew? If you don't want to rate it, you don't have to, by the way.
No, I mean...
We give that option to all guests.
Well, for me, and as
or
we
part-time
said...
host.
As I said before, like, to me, anything at, like, a 2 or above is, still drinking. To me, I would say right around the same thing, 3.5, 3.75. I actually really like it as it warms up. I think...
I wish I had more. I wish I didn't drink it so fast.
I think some of the volatiles of that yeast come off a little bit as it warms up, and you get a little bit more of that just really nice, easy drinking lager.
I just burped, and this... You know what? I'm not going to say that because I just burped, and sometimes, you get, like, flavors from that. I burped, and, ooh, there's a nice, like, fruity hoppiness. I also had that Bezel juice a little while ago. I think that's where that's coming from, so I'm not going to say that it's from this beer. But I'm with you guys. I'm probably close to, like, 3.75, maybe even, like, 3.8 ducks. There's this duck hunt. I shot 3.8 ducks, and the dog got them for me, so thank you. Dog. Exactly.
I do want to say, just looking at their website, some of their beers sound, most of their beers sound fantastic. There's nothing that I wouldn't try, but they've got, what I'm most curious about is they have, their Goes is classified as a Nordic Goes.
Heyo.
And they have one called an alley skater, which is an alligator on skates that are made out of cans, but it's a Nordic Goes with blood orange, coriander, and gray sea salt.
Okay.
And then they have another one, Sheepin' Ain't Easy, a Nordic
sure is fun.
A Nordic sour with citrus peel, chamomile, verjuice blanc, and wildflower honey. I don't know
pronunciation is
spitting those rhymes.
I don't know what that is, but and their artwork's pretty sweet too. I'm digging their artwork.
Here. Well, that sounds exciting. I think we need to get in touch with them, Brandon.
I agree. Ooh, they have a Nordic Weiss.
If only we knew somebody
with Cascada. A dark sour farmhouse with caraway and maple syrup?
People.
All right. Matthew, thank you for sharing this beer with us. Delicious. Very good. Different, but in a good way. Like most things, when people say they're different, it's always mainly in a good way.
Yeah.
Just like me. People say that guy's different. And they mean that in a good way, right?
Yes.
All right, Brandon, love you, buddy.
Love you too, man.
I'll see you everybody next week. Cheers. This has been The Malting Hour. Be sure to follow us on all social media by searching The Malting Hour and at themaltinghour.com. You can also follow us individually on social media. Brandon can be found on Instagram as BMDub81, on Twitter, BDub81, and on Untapped as BDubDrinksBeer. Tony can be found on Instagram and Untapped under Ace of Help Chicago, on Twitter, The Ace of Help Chicago. Clark can be found as Clarkowski on all three. Dan can be found on Instagram as hip__hops and hip hops on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe, like, and rate the show on your preferred podcast listening platform. Until next time, cheers from all of us at The Malting Hour.
What time?
Same time, every time, Matthew. Same time.
Same time, same place.
Here. Yeah, if you got time, we'll be here. I'm gonna go get some pumpkin beers. Matthew's checking his calendar.
I was like,